Welcome. Sit tight and fasten your seatbelt because we're about to go for a ride. Eh? No. That's right. Welcome to the Cool Car Guys. This week we're going to discuss the million-dollar questions. Will you buy an electric car? Who needs an electric car? And who wants an electric car? Where can I get one within my budget? Well, I'm comfortable driving my Honda Jazz Hybrid. Given it is a combination of ICE with an electric motor, I don't think I need to switch to a fully electric car. Even if our local government is pushing the EV initiative, but I do not see any reasons to jump on this bandwagon. Wow, it seems like no one is addressing these questions. And why not? Let me do the honor. Here I have gathered 4 important points to take note of when you want to buy an electric car. Pricing. Buying an electric car in Malaysia is not just expensive. We're talking about I can buy 4 Myvis with the price of 1 electric car expensive. You may say with the recently introduced low carbon mobility blueprint, we're expecting the price to go down soon. However, even with the discount, I don't think the cost of ownership is going down anytime soon due to 4 reasons: expensive battery, lack of local expertise, hefty insurance, and unregulated road tax system. Take road tax for example. The road tax for ICE vehicle here in Malaysia is calculated based on engine displacement. For example, a 1.3 litre vehicle will be paying less road tax than a 5 litre V8 engine vehicle. However, no one has been looking into the road tax for the electric car. Based on the Road Transport Department's JPJ latest guidelines, the calculation of road tax for electric vehicles is based on their electric outputs. For example, the Mini Cooper SE with electric outputs of 135 kW comes with 724 ringgit road tax. The Nissan Leaf that is packing 110 kW will be paying 374 ringgit road tax. The Porsche Taycan Turbo S with total electric output of 560 kW will be paying a hefty road tax of 11,594 ringgit Malaysia. And obviously, there is a flaw in the system. Cars that pollute more generally have to pay more tax. An electric vehicle generally pollute less. On what ground an electric vehicle that causes the least pollution has to pay more? Until the local government have figured out how to tax the electric car, I guess we have to settle for this at the moment. No wonder no one wants to buy electric car lah. Charging time. Owning an electric vehicle, you're gonna have a lot of patience. By the means of having patience, you will spend a lot of the time waiting. Charging an electric vehicle is unlikely that you can go over to the petrol station, fill it up, and get going. Currently, most of the EV owners are now charging at home. Imagine the worst case scenario is realizing your car is plugged in, but uncharged. And you have an important meeting to attend, even there are public charging stations around. With the lack of DC charging stations, meaning it will take longer for you to fully recharge your vehicle. Using an AC charger, charging a Nissan Leaf with 40 kWh battery from 0 to 80% will take you 6 to 7 hours. What? You want me to overnight at the station? The range. How far can you really go on a single charge? The range of an electric car depends on the size of the battery. The bigger the battery, the further you can drive. For example, the 2020 Tesla Model S Long Range Plus is the electric car with the most range available today. Packing a 100 kWh battery underneath, and you can go up to 402 miles, equivalent to 646 kilometers on a single charge. Well, you can make a round trip from KL to Penang. Not all car makers are offering big batteries like Tesla, and therefore you need to weigh in the usability and the affordability before deciding which car you're gonna get. Daddy, I want a Tesla for my birthday. Charging points. Where you charge your car can be a bit worry, while those who stay at the landed property can enjoy the convenience of having the charger entirely for themselves. It is an inconvenience for those who are staying at the condominiums because you have to share. Even so, according to Charge EV, there are 223 public charging stations available. However, majority focusing in Klang Valley. We have seen many EV drivers came across non-electric vehicles parking at the charging stations without giving a damn. This is in fact a selfish act. and there must be a punishment against them. Hello, police ada di sini. For those who are a little adventurous and planning to drive on the East Coast, it is a little bit of gamble as it requires more planning given there are only a few public charging stations available in the East Coast. And for those who are staying in East Malaysia, it is better to hold off the thoughts of getting an electric car as there are only 4 stations available. I am going to interview 2 friends who are currently working in the mobility industry. And let's hear what they have to say, and would they actually buy an electric car?
Okay, hi, thank you for joining the video.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So this recording is for the Cool Car Guys. So maybe first you can do a short introduction about yourself.
Sure, my name is Ureee. I'm the CEO of Omnimatics, and we are an automotive IoT company, so we deal mostly with telematics and car control features.
My name is Henry. I am a bit of a car enthusiast. So I've not just driven petrol cars, I've also driven electric cars.
I mean, of course, price is a huge factor, but I think at this time, given that there are only a couple of hundred charging stations in Malaysia, that is a really big concern because, you know, when you have such little charging stations, it's like having very little petrol stations around, and it's going to give you anxiety when you're driving, and that is something that I definitely will not enjoy. So definitely charging stations.
Buy an EV, pricing is out of my control, or rather I already know what I want, so I have a price point in mind. Infrastructure is pretty much down to, I think, the government mainly. So range would be first, second would be charging time. Of course, there are fast charging and whatnot, but the main thing that I would consider and look at with charging time is how long it would take if I can only get access to a normal charger, not a supercharger or a fast charger, right? So that would be the second thing in my mind. Of course, if you have better range, you have less worries with charging time because you can travel further without having to stop at the charger all the time.
At this current time, definitely not. I mean, like I mentioned, the price is it's a major factor, but the fact that I feel like Malaysia is not completely ready to fully embrace electric vehicles. So for this given time, I'm not looking forward to purchasing any EV vehicle.
Okay, at this point, very interesting. I would consider buying an EV if money wasn't an object for me. So probably a second-hand one would do nice for me because we wouldn't know what the effects are like on the battery life as the car ages. So second-hand is pretty much a good indication on how bad the battery can get after, let's say, 5 or how many years, right?
I believe if accessibility and demand increases, I would definitely consider getting an EV. Perhaps something below, I mean, because if you're looking at normal cars already ranging of 100,000 and above, you definitely have to make sure that whatever you are pricing it as, it's on par. I guess anything below 150. I know the current rate is 200,000 and above, so that's really steep.
I mean, as of today, I really enjoy driving EVs still, despite the range anxiety factor. I still love driving them. You know, it's always the challenge of how far can you nurse out of one charge of battery, right? It's always the challenge of, oh great, I can achieve 50 kilometers even though the car only says I can go 35, that kind of thing. Hasn't happened, but it'll be interesting to see. Okay, the government side, I think the first thing that they can really do is to pump in more infrastructure to make charges a little bit more easily available, which kind of dwells back to the budget side of things, right? So they need to give incentives to people to install A, chargers, and B, to buy electric cars as well, because like we mentioned just now, it's just a little bit too expensive to buy one because of the taxes and duties.
I think all of the above are important factors to consider before I want to get on board with the EV train.
Little body got the shot.
a reasonably priced car which goes around 150,000 ringgit Malaysia, easy access to public charging stations, preferably a DC charging stations for fast charging, and the total range good enough to cover my daily round trip from my home to my work office. So, will you buy an electric car? Comment down below and let's start a conversation. If you like more content about electric car news, show me a little support by subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to share with your cool car friends. Until then, see you in the next video. Bye!